Hey guys, we are back. Happy Sunday. It is time for Blue Marvel Professor X testing. I know a lot of you guys have been interested to see some Blue Marvel gameplay, and there's not a lot of places to do that right now. However, I'm going to be releasing this video today, going through the Professor X saga with him, and I'm also going to be releasing a video later on today with gameplay for him in the arena. So if that's something you guys are interested in, make sure you watch for that video. All right, so we are going to jump in here and we're going to go through this whole section. And we are going to be using Fantastic Four as well as Quasar. So I've had several people ask me about this, so we're going to try this out. I personally have not tested it. However, I'm going to be extremely surprised if it does not work, but we'll get real familiar with Blue Marvel. Now, as far as his ISO, I use Blue Marvel at a striker unless he's going to be with a team comp where you know he's going to go first. He does do adjacent damage, and if he's on defense, he will do an AoE with his ult and hit everyone. So having him as a Raider is not a bad idea if you know he's going to take the first turn. I like to use him as a striker, but you can swap him in and out from striker to Raider depending on the scenario that you're going to have him playing in. All right. Also, I did see, I have not commented on it yet, but I did see a comment, one of you guys out there had mentioned something about me going to full screen, so the quality's a little better. I've been playing around with that. However, I have a 48-inch Philips curved computer screen, and I have not been able to figure out how to go to full screen and encompass all of it in OBS. It always cuts off half of the screen. So I am trying to figure that out. I'll probably talk to ZKG about it, send him a message. He's an OBS expert. However, if I cannot figure out how to make that work with this curved screen that I have, hopefully you guys can bear with seeing the web browser in the top, because I have not figured out how to get rid of it. In case you guys haven't figured out, I'm not super tech savvy. I'm good at drinking coffee and making bad decisions in Crucible. Anything past that is kind of a coin flip. All right. So we're going to go through his kit while we're doing this as well. I know a lot of you guys don't have Blue Marvel yet, so we're going to get real familiar with his kit and his passive and abilities and all that stuff. I really like to test new characters in Professor X because we're not stuck behind a timer. So we get a little bit of time to spend on their kits and to chat about it. All right, so let's take a look at his passive. All right, Man of Marvels. On spawn, gain defense up for 2 turns. Bury yourself for 30% of the character's max health. And if this character is on defense and any enemy has charged, fill his speed bar by 50%. Yeah, that's a big deal. People cannot bring Logan, Black Knight, Gore, those type of people against him if he's on defense, because he's immediately going to take the first turn and wreck everybody. On his turn, he's going to heal self for 20% of max health and bury yourself for 15% of the character's max health. Gain 15% damage, 15% resistance, up to a maximum of 75%. On enemy turn end, reduce all negative effects on self by 2. If any negative effects were cleared, Heal self for 10% of max health per negative effect cleared. Gain 20% speed, 20% armor, and up to a maximum of 80%. This passive right here is, this part of the passive is a huge deal. I have talked to multiple people that have been facing blue Marvel teams and have went in on their third attack with Immortal X-Men and completely wrecked the entire team. But because of this passive with him clearing negative effects, gaining speed, and healing himself, they weren't able to kill him and ended up dropping the room because he just kept healing himself through all their attacks. So this is really, really powerful. It's going to be really insane when he's 3 diamonds. He's going to be extremely difficult to get rid of. Now, with that being said, I know a few people that are running him as a healer. I have a difficult time running a monster as a healer because, I don't know, there's something in my psyche. However, I do know people that are getting a lot of success using him as a healer where he's very, very difficult to get rid of. I'm not saying that I won't jump over to that at some point in time. However, it's going to be a minute. When an enemy kills an ally, or on defense, when an enemy becomes empowered, attack that enemy for 300% piercing. This attack ignores defense up, is unavoidable, and the damage reduces the max health of the target by the same amount. Now, I will tell you that in Crucible, I don't think that's working. Because in the first round, my opponent brought a Mephisto team in against me. Mephisto got empowered, and he did not attack Mephisto. So I'm going to be turning that video over to the team to make sure that I'm not missing something there. But it seems like it reads pretty clear to me that if somebody becomes empowered, he attacks them. And Mephisto became empowered, and he did not attack him. So I'm going to make sure that that's working. This is big right here. Until this character completes a turn, this character cannot gain stun. The speed and focus of this character and all allies can only be reduced by negative effects. Also gain 25% max barrier, 25% drain. Alright, now with that being said, we're going to look at one of his attacks at a time, so you're not sitting through 45 minutes of me talking about him at one time. Let's go ahead and take a look at his special. All of his abilities are active first turn. Cosmic Battery. Gain offense up for 2 turns. That happens first. Reduce the duration of safeguard and immunity on a primary and adjacent targets by 2. Apply slow for 2 turns to the primary and adjacent targets. Apply the opposite of all positive effects on this character to the primary target. That's crazy. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 380% piercing. Deal 5% of this character's max health as damage. Transfer all negative effects on the primary target to each adjacent target. So essentially, he's going to be taking the negative, the opposite of his positive effects, putting them on the primary target, and then transferring them to the adjacent targets. On defense, this attack targets the enemy with the least speed bar instead of the primary target, ignoring taunt and stealth. This attack ignores defense up and cannot be blocked or dodged. Alright, so let's go here. And he wrecks nerds. Plain and simple. And he's currently at 7 red, by the way. I did not say that. He is at 7 red, and he does crazy damage. Alright, let's take a look at his ult. Dark Matter Destruction. Reduce the duration of safeguard and immunity on primary and adjacent targets by 2. And apply defense down for 2 turns. Attack the primary and adjacent targets for 400% piercing. Flip all positive effects on each target and apply Disrupted for 2 turns and Trauma for 2 turns. Flip Charged on each target to bleed. On defense, this attack targets all enemies, like I was discussing earlier. This attack ignores defense up, is unavoidable, and cannot be blocked. All right. Let's go ahead and steal some of those positive effects. Very good. And let's go ahead and get rid of Kang. I forgot to go over his basic, but we've got plenty of time. We're going to go through this whole entire section. So let's kind of speed through this a little bit now. Okay. You know what? We're going to just back out. It's obviously that we're going to beat this, and I don't want this video to be 2 hours. All right, let's jump into the next node. I can't fathom that we're going to have any issues with this team, but let's run through it. I've had a couple people ask me about it. All right, we'll go ahead and use her ult. She's a beast too, actually. All right, let's check out his basic real quick. Antimatter Assault. Reduce the duration of Safeguard on the primary target by 2. Attack the primary target for 300% piercing. Flip 3 random positive effects. This damage reduces the max health of the target by the same amount. This is why I like him as a striker. On defense, this attack targets the enemy with the highest max health instead of the primary target, ignoring taunt and stealth. This attack ignores defense up and cannot be blocked. Okay. Soon as we get to a point where it's obvious that we're going to win, we'll go ahead and back out just to kind of speed it up a little bit. He's ridiculous. Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious that we're going to win this, so let's go ahead and back out of that one. And then, of course, guys, you know the drill. If there are any team comps that you're interested to see if they will work, go ahead and throw them in the comments. I will certainly test them for you and let you know if it's something that will work. And if it ends up being something that's kind of interesting or requires a certain turn order, then I'll throw a video up with it. The fact that he clears those negative effects every turn is craziness. Let's go over here. Let's go ahead and use his special this time. Okay. Go ahead and use his ult. Get rid of Blade. I'd say this is probably going to do it. I don't foresee any way that we could lose here. Nope. Let's go ahead and back out. All right. And I haven't used him on offense in Crucible yet. I wanted to test him out in different ways on defense the first weekend. I will probably switch him back to offense next weekend to try out some different things. But I'm gonna run him. I'm gonna run him on defense this weekend and then switch him next weekend. So we'll get to see some offensive gameplay with him next weekend. Let's just go ahead and use his ult here. Let's go ahead and just smoke him. And obviously we're going to win this. So let's go ahead and back out there. All right. He is, he's going to be fun finding different ways to use him in Crucible. Early on, the obvious way is throw him with Fantastic Four and Professor X. But I think as smart as this community is, over time, there's going to be some really, really cool comps that people come up with him. All right. This shouldn't be any issue either. All right. As long as Miss Marvel is still alive, there is still a chance that they could do something crazy and win. So let's get rid of Kahori and then we'll back out. Yeah, see, he just keeps healing and burying himself. It's crazy. All right. Yeah, I'd say we're good. I mean, you could make him almost unkillable if you made him a healer. But man, I just really enjoy all the damage he does. So, I mean, realistically, over time, I'm sure there's going to be some really good scenarios where making him a healer on defense is going to make total sense because he's going to be nearly impossible to kill. But for now, I'm not doing that. Not to mention, I don't want to waste ISO 5 right now, bringing him up to a healer in ISO 5. Maybe down the road when it's plentiful. We'll see how this plays out because he is super powerful. My only concern on this node is that he will, between him and Quasar, that they might kill the whole team. So we'll just kind of have to see how this goes. Yeah, see, that's always my concern on this, when you have really powerful tunes. Because it's real easy for them to just kill each other. Alright, there goes Blue Marvel. Now let's get rid of some of these evades. I gotta be honest. I can't recall ever going through this level, or this node, where Professor X did 2 ults in a row. That was kind of weird. I don't know. That didn't go very well. And I'm not going to spend 30 minutes going through that little section. So let's try that again and hope that we don't just murder ourselves right out of the gate. And probably, let's hope that Professor X just doesn't do multiple ults. That was weird. We might hang tight on using Invisible Woman's ult. I don't know, Blue Marvel's changing something up, but I've never seen it work that way. Matter of fact, we're going to do that again because I want to see if it works that way again. I've never cleared the first wave and then had to attack Professor X 4 times before another wave drops. And I've never had Professor X do 2 ults in a row either. So, see if maybe that was a glitch or if Blue Marvel is causing that somehow. All right, let's go ahead and do that again. Okay, 1, 2, okay. Okay, I don't know why he is skipping his special and then going right to his special. Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. I've played this 300 times and he has never done that before. Something weird is occurring right now. We're going to figure out how to resolve that. I think we're going to hold tight. We're not going to use her ult right out of the gate. And we're going to save that. I don't know why he is skipping his special. I've used Invisible Woman on this level at least 100 times. And this has never occurred before. So we are going to take our time here. Okay, let's go that route. It's basic here. Let's go ahead and steal those positive effects. Okay. Why is that second wave not dropping? I don't understand what's occurring right now. Okay, now he's doing the special. He didn't skip it and go to his ult. Okay. This is not unavoidable, so we're going to go ahead and basic right now. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and use her ult now. I don't know. Blue Marvel is causing something with Professor X where you really need to take your time. On the first level. It's like if you're with him on the field, if you wipe that first wave with Invisible Woman, that I don't know. It's doing something weird to Professor X where it's making him take his ult twice in a row. So be aware of that if you're using this team. Take that first wave a little slow. Because if you clear it immediately with Invisible Woman, then Professor X is doing back-to-back ults and skipping his special for some weird reason. All right. So obviously that works. We did get to see some fun gameplay with Blue Marvel. got to come across a little bit of a wacky situation there. Hopefully you guys can utilize what we just did if you do bring this team, so you don't run into that same nonsense we were running into. With that being said, I hope you guys got some value out of this. Hope you had a little fun. I'm very excited about Blue Marvel. He's going to be a game changer as we get a little more familiar with how he's going to work with other tunes. So be on the lookout for the arena video if that's something you're interested in. He's definitely changed the meta in the arena. So I'll put that video out later on today. And then, of course, we'll have the third round of Crucible later on today. And I might throw another video up if I have time. I do have a couple requests that I'm trying to get to. If I have time, I'll throw those up too. So we may have a 4-video day. At the very least, we're going to have 3. So be on the lookout for Arena and Crucible tonight. And also, of course, if you had some fun, hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe if you have not. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video as soon as I drop it. And, of course, share this with your friends and alliance mates if you think they could get some value. Lastly, don't forget to leave comments down below if you've got some questions about different team comps. Obviously, I can't make a video for every team comp because there'd be 50 videos using Blue Marvel. But I will certainly jump in, test it, let you know if it works. And, of course, guys, God bless all of you. Hope you guys have an awesome day. And until the next video, stay positive and enjoy the game.